Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of different topics. We're going to be talking about interactions between the Dutch settlers and the English settlers, and we're also going to talk about the founding of Pennsylvania as a colony. So, to get started off, tensions between the Netherlands and England. Thinly populated New Netherlands suffered when the Dutch and English empires came to blows. The Dutch and English became violent rivals in global commerce during the 1650s and 1660s. The English leaders resented that the more efficient Dutch shippers captured most of the trade exporting Chesapeake tobacco and West Indian sugar. In 1664, an English fleet forced Governor Stuyvesant to surrender his colony. The English renamed it New York after the Duke of York, who received it as a proprietary colony. New Amsterdam became the city of New York, while Fort Orange became known as Albany. Victory secured the mid-Atlantic coast for the English, closing the gap between the Chesapeake colonies to the south and to the New England colonies to the north. Under English rule, the conquered region became known as the Middle Colonies. New Jersey becomes a colony. In 1664, the Duke of York granted the lands between the Hudson and the Delaware rivers as a distinct new colony called New Jersey. English Puritans and Scots settled the eastern half, while the western half attracted English Quakers. Relatively small and poor, New Jersey was dominated by its larger and wealthier neighbors, New York to the north and Pennsylvania to the west. Settlers were allowed religious freedom, which helped attract an ethnically diverse population and fostered tolerance. Religious toleration in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania began as a debt paid to William Penn by King Charles II of England. Although the son of an admiral, Penn had embraced the Quaker faith, a radical form of Protestantism. As a wealthy gentleman, Penn was an unusual Quaker. Most Quakers were tradespeople, shopkeepers, and small farmers who distrusted rich and powerful men. In turn, the gentry of England generally despised the Quakers. So the Quakers were very common folks. They were not overly wealthy. They were hard workers, tradespeople, shopkeepers. They were not the wealthy aristocrats of society. So this man, William Penn, he was a very wealthy person, and so he was kind of an unusual Quaker for that trait. Quaker beliefs and values. In contrast to the Puritan emphasis on sacred scripture and sermons by ministers, the Quakers sought an inner light to understand the Bible. The Quakers did not have clergy and considered women spiritually equal to men. Quakers welcomed both men's and women's contributions to their meetings. As pacifists, the Quakers refused to bear arms. They also tolerated other faiths. Unlike Puritan Massachusetts, Pennsylvania would have no privileged church with tax support. Pennsylvania prospers and grows. In 1680, the king granted to Penn the land west of the Delaware River as the colony of Pennsylvania, which means Penn's Woods. In 1682, Penn arrived with 23 ships bearing 2,000 colonists. For his capital, Penn established a city named Philadelphia, which means City of Brotherly Love. Thanks to a temperate climate, fertile soil, and a navigable river, the colonists prospered and multiplied, reaching 18,000 inhabitants by 1700. As with the New England Puritans, but unlike the Chesapeake colonists, most early Pennsylvanians came as families of middle-class means. Most were Quakers, but the colony also attracted Anglicans as well as German Baptists and Lutherans. Cultivating peace with the local American Indians, the Pennsylvanians avoided the sort of rebellions that devastated Virginia, New England, and New Mexico. Called Delawares by the English, the local American Indians were Algonquin speakers. Unlike most other colonial leaders, Penn treated American Indians with respect and paid fair prices for their land. So this is another thing that is very uncommon among early settlers, is paying fair prices for the land and respecting the natives. Not a lot of settlers did this. A lot of them despised the American Indians and tried to do everything they could to just get them out of the way. So that is one way that William Penn really kind of stands out among the crowd. The Middle Colonies proved welcoming for many. The Middle Colonies developed an ethnic and religious diversity greater than either the Chesapeake or New England areas, where almost all of the white colonists came from England. The Middle Colonies included Dutch, Swedes, Finns, French Protestants, Germans, Norwegians, and Scots, as well as English. By faith, they were Quakers, Baptists, Anglicans, Presbyterians, Lutherans, Dutch Reformed, German Reformed, and Jews. No single ethnic group or specific religious denomination possessed a majority in any middle colony. So this is a huge amount of diversity for this time, for this area. You know, in a lot of the other colonies and a lot of the other areas, they were very kind of sectioned off. You know, if you lived in this area, well, you had to be Jewish. If you lived in this area, you had to be a Baptist. You know, but here in the middle colonies, mostly Pennsylvania, they have all different kinds of groups all over the place. So the fact that they were accepting and welcoming of all religious faiths and diversities really spoke to the strength of these colonies. The diversity of the middle colonies violated the traditional belief that political order depended on ethnic and religious uniformity. Thrown together in unexpected combinations, the various colonists had to learn how to tolerate their differences. In their ethnic and religious pluralism, the middle colonies anticipated the American future. So, I'm sure you've heard of that phrase, the melting pot. Well, and they say, well, America's a melting pot. Well, what that means is, in America, we have many different people of different ethnicities and backgrounds and beliefs and cultures and creeds, and that is what makes America strong, is because we have so many people of all different backgrounds that we can see past all the differences, and we don't section ourselves off, and we all come together. So this trait was present in the middle colonies, and that's what it means there whenever it says this anticipated the American future. Okay, that's going to be it for this video. Once again, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Send them to me, and I'll do what I can to help you. Hope everybody's having a great day, and I'll see you again real soon.